Calgary Flames trade rumors are intensifying as multiple writers have come out with links and deals that have fans pondering. Pavel Zacha from the Boston Bruins has been heavily linked to Calgary, with many speculating that the return package could include Rasmus Andersson. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's hop straight in and talk about how Zacha has been linked even further to Calgary. We've seen it in the past, but he has now been heavily linked, and it's so funny because there's actually been so much real news lately. We've got a Wolf signing. We've got Conroy speaking out. We've got a Zary signing. It's been well over a week since the last trade rumor, especially Rasmus Andersson trade rumor video. Gosh, I could barely get it out because that's how just, I guess, excited I am to talk about it. Big wink for you there. But let's hop straight in and start with Zacha. So, Colton Pankio, he wrote an article that says Calgary Flames have trade interest in Pavel Zacha, and it is a report. So he's not the one who initially said it, but he came out with a cheeky little article for us to discuss here. So all credit due to him for compiling all his notes and releasing it in a very great way. Now, though the Flames were able to select two centermen in the first round of the 2025 draft, Cole Reshney and Cullen Potter, both players are years away from making an impact in the NHL, assuming they pan out at all. That is. This is, in reference to the Flames are thin at center. We all know it. It still has a lot of Flames fans down in the dumps, even through some of the signings that we've had recently. They're still saying we suck, we don't have any centers. And it's true, we don't have any centers. It is quite thin. We've got Kadri, we've got Backlund. After that, you can throw in some maybe guys. And that's kind of how it is. So that is why it kind of makes sense for the Flames to go after a center. Now, as fans know, prospects are never a sure thing, which is why general manager Craig Conroy continues to have interest in adding centers, such as Morgan Frost, who already has NHL experience, so could put Frost at center as well, obviously. Now, one particular name the Flames are now being linked to is Boston Bruins centerman Pavel Zacha. As per a report from Jimmy Murphy of RG Media, I tried to click that link and see the, original report, I suppose, and I couldn't find it, but I still believe it. The Flames have expressed interest in the 28-year-old, though the Bruins aren't interested in moving him at this time. That could change in the future, however. Interesting. If you're Boston, why wouldn't you want to move Zacha? So several teams, I'm told the Flames are one, continue to express interest in him. Murphy quoted a source as saying in his latest column. So it's literally a he says that he says that he says that now I am saying. So it's almost like a game of telephone here, but essentially getting to the point is that, the Flames are one of the teams interested in Zacha. Now, the Bruins are in an interesting spot as a franchise, having finished dead last in the Atlantic Division last season. They were tanking. While they aren't ready to declare a full rebuild, similar struggles in 2025-26 could see them move out several players, including Zacha. So kind of, what the Flames have done the past couple years, especially 2 years ago. Now, Zacha makes sense for the Flames. This comes from Colton Pankio. He's the one writing this. So Zacha is 6'3", 206-pound centerman who has taken big strides since being acquired by the Bruins from the Devils ahead of the 2022-23 season, so way back when. He surpassed the 20-goal and 50-point mark in each of his first two seasons with the Bruins before regressing slightly last year with 14 goals and 47 points in 82 outings. It was easier since those Bruins teams were so good. I mean, when you're playing with Pastrnak, it's not that hard to, generate a lot of offense, but still. Zacha was kind of deemed almost a bit of a bust in his waning years in New Jersey and has done pretty well in Boston, but when you're the number one center, and like I said, you're playing with Pastrnak and stuff, I mean, that's obviously since Bergeron has retired, but you're playing with Marchand as well a little bit, it's easier to have a little bit of a career renaissance, shall we say. Now, Zacha can not only provide offense in a middle six role, but is a strong defensive forward who can also kill penalties. He averaged 1 minute and 46 minutes per game on the penalty kill in 2024-25, which was tied with Lindholm for the second most minutes of any Bruins forward. The left shot forward is also good in the faceoff dot. Last season saw him take 739 draws, the second highest total of any Bruins forward. He won 53.2% of those draws, so easily can be the Flames' number one faceoff guy. The 2023-24 season saw him win 54.8% of his over 1,000 faceoffs. So pretty good in the faceoff dot. That's something we need. That's actually something that Craig Conroy cares about a lot. Now, that in itself would be massive for the Flames, as Frost was their only centerman to finish above 50% in faceoffs at just 50.5%. While not the sole reason, their lack of success in the draw played a part in their penalty kill ranking 25th in the NHL last season at just 76.1%. So it's funny. We're kind of going for offense, and Zacha can, get you about 50 points, but he's really good defensively too, which is interesting. So Zacha is locked up through the 2026-27 season on a very reasonable deal that sees him carry a cap hit of $4.75 million, while his contract includes an 8-team no-trade list. Whether or not the Flames would be a team on that list is unknown, but a lot of people would speculate that it is. Now, given that he is an additional season on a team-friendly contract, however, means that Zacha wouldn't come cheap. So what would it cost? Would it cost Razz? And that's what it always seems to come back to for us Flames fans. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Rasmus Andersson lately. He spoke out recently. Craig Conroy spoke out about Rasmus Andersson lately. And then the 32 Thoughts podcast came out this morning, and they actually spoke about Calgary quite a bit. They spoke about the Dustin Wolf signing and Rasmus Andersson. And as Ryan Pike points out, the money quote on Rasmus Andersson was this: "I just believe that at some point this year, Craig Conroy is going to get what he wants to get to move him." So essentially saying that, yeah, right now, probably the only reason Rasmus Andersson hasn't been traded is because Craig Conroy hasn't loved any of the packages going the other way. I think there's definitely a market for Rasmus Andersson right now. He just hasn't been blown away and truly wanted to pull the trigger right away. Now, this interesting article came out. So is Rasmus Andersson likely to be traded? It came out this morning. All credit due to Stuart Blakely here, so close to one of the names of one of my best friends from university. But either way, so the biggest question of the offseason was addressed by the man himself. He spoke about it, and there's a couple quotes I wanted to take from here that is it likely that he is going to be traded. So the market isn't the issue for a trade. The other options for why a trade hasn't been made yet are the offers are below what Conroy wants in return, which is likely, or teams are worried that Andersson won't sign with their team. Yet another possibility occurs to me, keeping Andersson around long term. Also at the Charity Golf Classic, Andersson said, "I've grown up in this city, and as I said at the press conference at the end of the year, I've loved every second of it. That will never change. Now it's the business side of it, Is it smart of me to re-sign now after last season? I don't know. I read all season about how much I suck. So it is what it is." And, considering the comments, it's clear that he's open to staying, adding on. It's a great city, and it's a great organization to play for, and I think it always will be. That makes it seem like he is destined to start the season with the Flames. He wants to increase his value because he knows he didn't have all that great of a season. He's hearing that other people thought he didn't have all that great of a season. So signing right now when his value could definitely increase with some more play is what it sounds like, and it sounds like that could happen in Calgary, of course. Now, this next contract is likely to be his last shot at a massive contract. Motivated by that, he'll look to have a monster season. If the Flames come out flying and are in playoff position by the trade deadline, it could be worth considering Andersson as an own rental and potentially work on a new contract when the season is over, making Rasmus Andersson a career Flame. That is so risky. We've seen it in the past. It's not worth it. No matter what happens, expect a massive season for Rasmus Andersson and a return of what makes him a top pairing defenseman in the NHL. And it's interesting because Zacha has been linked to Calgary a little bit, now quite a bit more than before. Andersson has actually been linked to Boston. Bruins fans are saying, no, why the heck would we go after that? And hockey fans are thinking, well, why wouldn't you? And then so on and so forth. But, it could kind of make sense in a way. They have similar contracts. The Flames and Bruins are in somewhat similar areas of, are they going to be a playoff team? Do they need a few more pieces kind of thing? Are they going to sell some players off? It's interesting. Could a deal involving Zacha and Andersson really come to fruition? I think it would have to be Zacha plus for Andersson, but maybe I'm just biased. You can feel free to let me know down in the comments. Now, speaking of comments, let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from yesterday's video, of course, and good old Tater Nuts, of course, talking about Wolfie, says, "Love the signing of our boy Wolfie," with a smiley face there. So now we have two of our elite young talents in Coronato and Wolf locked up. Love it, love it, love it. It is good times in the sea of red with all these recent signings, especially obviously Coronato at the beginning of the offseason and Wolf now the biggest of them all. But you think of guys like Zary and Ball and more. There's people who, still just love Pospisil, and there's some others as well, getting Kirkland back and everything. But it has been, an interesting summer for the Flames, but September has been awesome. And to reiterate, love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.